Welcome to the Freetown City Council Auditorium, a venue bustling with anticipation as we gather for the 52nd Annual General Meeting of the Rokel Commercial Bank. Today, shareholders from across the region have convened to engage in significant discussions about the future of Rokel Commercial Bank, a pillar of financial strength in our community.
The second annual general meeting of the Rokel Commercial Bank Sierra Leone Limited. In doing so, I want to thank you for honoring our invitation and for your continued confidence in the bank. We observe that in preparation for this meeting, there were delays in the dispatch of the annual reports for 2024 to some stakeholders. For this, I sincerely apologize on behalf of the board and management, with the commitment that corrective measures are being taken to ensure that it does not repeat itself in future. Your presence here today underscores our shared commitment as stakeholders in the bank's journey of growth and stability. At this point, I have the singular honor to formally declare the 2024 52nd Annual General Meeting of Rokel Commercial Bank open. Thank you.
The meeting commences with the acceptance and amendment of minutes from the previous meeting held on December 12, 2024, an essential step in ensuring transparency and accountability.
That is of 17th January 2024. 2. To receive the chairman's statement. 3. To receive the audited financial statements of the company for the year ended 31st December 2024, together with the report of the directors and auditors thereof. 4. To declare dividend for the year ended 31st December 2023. 5. To elect/re-elect directors and to fix their remuneration. 6. To appoint auditors and to authorize the directors to fix their remuneration. 7. To approve the proposed acquisition of the Union Trust Bank. 8. To transact any other business proper to be transacted at an annual general meeting, dated 29th day of December 2025 by order of the board, Company Secretary, Freetown Nominees Limited.
Following the approval of last year's minutes, the chairman presents his annual statement, reflecting on the bank's resilience amidst economic challenges and outlining the vision for future growth.
On the agenda is to receive the chairman's statement. The chairman's statement has been incorporated in the 2024 annual report of the company, which can be found in Roman pages 3 to 8. I propose that it be taken as read, and I shall be pleased to deal with any question, comment, and/or observation after the presentation of the report of the auditors, the audited financial statements, and the report of the directors. Will someone second the motion?
Financial statements of Rokel Commercial Bank, which comprise the statements of financial position as at 31st December 2024, the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, changes in equity and cash flows for the year then ended, and the notes comprising a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory information. In our opinion, The accompanying financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the bank as at 31st December 2024 and of its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with international financial reporting standards and the requirements of the Companies Act of Sierra Leone 2009 and the Banking Act of Sierra Leone and the Banking Regulations of Sierra Leone. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards of auditing. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statement section of our report. We are independent of the bank in accordance with the International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, together with the ethical requirements that are relevant to our audit of the financial statement in Sierra Leone, and we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with the requirements and the ISBA code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. The directors are responsible for the other information. The other information comprises the directors' reports as required by the Companies Act of Sierra Leone, which we obtained prior to the date of this report. Other information does not include the financial statement and our auditor's reports thereon. Our opinion on the financial statement does not cover other information, and we do not express an audit opinion on any form of assurance conclusion thereon. In connection with our audit of the financial statement, our responsibility is to read the other information and in doing so, consider whether the other information is materially inconsistent with the financial statements or our knowledge obtained in the audit or otherwise appears to be materially misstated. If, based on the work we have performed on the other information obtained prior to the date of the auditor's report, we conclude that there is a material misstatement of this other information, we are required to report that fact. We have nothing to report in this regard. The directors are responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements in accordance with international financial reporting standards and the requirements of the Companies Act of Sierra Leone 2009, the Banking Act of Sierra Leone, the Banking Regulations of Sierra Leone, and for such internal control as the directors determine is necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statements, the directors are responsible for assessing the bank's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters related to going concern, and using the going concern basis of accounting unless the directors either intend to liquidate the bank or to cease operations or have no realistic alternative but to do so. Those charged with governance are responsible for overseeing the bank's financial reporting process. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an auditor's report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, but it's not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with ISAs will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. Misstatements can arise from fraud or error and are considered material if individually or in the aggregate they could reasonably be expected to influence the economic decisions of users taken on the basis of the financial statements. As part of an audit in accordance with ISAs, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. We also identify and assess the risk of material misstatement of financial statements, whether due to fraud or error, design and perform audit procedures responsive to those risks, and obtain the audit evidence that is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. The risk of not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud is higher than for one resulting from error, as fraud may involve collusion, forgery, intentional omissions, misrepresentations, or the override of internal control. We also obtain an understanding of internal control relevant to the audit in order to design the audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the bank's internal control. We also evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies used and the reasonableness of accounting estimates and related disclosures made by the directors. We also conclude on the appropriateness of the director's use of the going concern basis of accounting and based on the audit evidence obtained, whether a material uncertainty exists related to events or conditions that may cast significant doubt on the bank's ability to continue as a going concern. If we conclude that a material uncertainty exists, then we are required to draw attention in the auditor's report to the related disclosures in the financial statements, or if such disclosures are inadequate, to modify our opinion. Our conclusions are based on the audit evidence obtained up to the date of our auditor's report. However, future events or conditions may cause the bank to cease to continue as a going concern. We also evaluate the overall presentation, structure, and content of the financial statements, including the disclosures and whether the financial statements represent the underlying transactions and events in a manner that achieves fair presentation. We also obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding the financial information of the business activities within the bank to express an opinion on the financial statements. We are responsible for the direction, supervision, and performance of the bank's audit. We remain solely responsible for our audit opinion. We communicate with those charged with governance regarding, among other matters, the planned scope and timing of the audit and significant audit findings, including any significant deficiencies in internal control that were identified during our audit. We also provide those charged with governance with a statement that we have complied with relevant ethical requirements regarding independence and to communicate with them all relationships and other matters that may reasonably be thought to be under independence and where applicable related safeguards. In accordance with the requirements of Section 113 Section 2 of the Banking Act 2019 of Sierra Leone, we report that the accounts give a true and fair view of the state of affairs of the bank and its results for the year under review. We obtained all the information and explanations required so far for the efficient performance of our duties. And the bank did not comply with the relevant provisions of the Banking Act of Sierra Leone in relation to the following. As at 31st December 2024, the bank's non-performing loans to total loans ratio of 15% exceeded the tolerable ratio of 10% by 5%. The engagement partner on the audit resulting in this independent auditor's report is Agnes M. Sawyer, signed by Bikatini, dated 24th June 2025.
Shareholders then review the audited financial statement for the year ended December 31st, 2024, along with comprehensive reports from directors and auditors. This critical analysis shows the bank's stability and prospects.
But the bank did not comply with the relevant provisions of the Banking Act of Sierra Leone. One, what is the implication, and what is the reason for that? Thank you.
Please, I want to draw attention to page 50 and placement. For 2023, there was no figure on placement, but in 2024, there is 355,107. And I just want some explanation on that, please. Further, legal and professional fees. If we observe, in 2023 it was about 1.3 million, and 2024 is about 4.3 million. It's just an observation. I believe the bank has a legal section. So I just want to know why is the increase?
My name is Walter, European Managing Director. Apparently, following through from COVID, we had a number of customers in the fishery sector that had some difficulties in repaying their loans. And these key customers actually had a long delay in getting boats to come in, and for some other reasons they also had delays in getting paid from some suppliers that they had actually worked with. As a consequence, they defaulted, and this default, mainly from a few customers in the fishery sector, impacted the portfolio, which caused this particular breach of the regulatory 10% limit. But what do we have to do about that? Of course, we have deepened our collections. We have a debt recovery unit. We've taken legal action against customers, and we continue to pursue the customers for such funds. Ideally, we don't give out bad loans. Good loans go bad, and in this instance, all necessary protocols were followed. But it happened that falling from COVID, these particular business entities struggled, and that was the consequence.
We trade with other banks when we have excess funds, and we go to the interbank market to replacement. When we have deficits, we go to the interbank market to borrow also. I think that's the figure. Thank you.
The figure you have of 355, that is for guarantees. So placement actually is 457,112 in 2023, and then 2024 is 643,439. Just small clarification on that one. It's a typographical mistake. Movement on the figures. Okay?
With strong performance indicators, showcased and positive projections, the board confidently declares a dividend for the year, marking a successful return for shareholders.
The sum of 23,786,174 leones 60 cents will be paid to the government of Sierra Leone as dividend, and the sum of 12,807,940 leones 20 cents will be paid to the other shareholders in proportion of their holdings. Therefore, the sum of 40 cents will be paid on every share held by a shareholder whose name is on the register of members of the company on 31st December 2024. I therefore propose that, as recommended by the Board of Directors, 40 cents be and is hereby declared as first and final dividend on every share held by a shareholder whose name is on the company's register of members on 31st December 2024.
The meeting moves to the election of directors, where shareholders cast their vote to elect and re-elect candidates who will guide the bank's strategic decisions.
And 0 abstain. Mr. Alimami Bangura re-election 100% for, 0 against, and 0 abstain. Elections, Mr. Ralph Ansumana 100% for, 0 against, and 0 abstain. Mr. John Sumaila 100% for, 0 against, and 0 abstain. To appoint auditors and to authorize directors to fix their remuneration. 70% for, 30 against, and 0 abstain. Special resolution to approve the proposed acquisition of the Union Trust Bank Limited. 90% votes were for and 10 against, abstentions of 0. So this was the summary of the interim results of the postcast. So I hereby declare that all the motions have been carried by at least 2/3 of the votes cast on the motions for which poll were demanded.
With the new board set, decisions turn to fixing director remuneration and appointing auditors. Ensuring effective governance and oversight remains a priority for the bank.
Mrs. Baker Tilly have expressed their willingness to continue in the office. Will someone please move that motion? Be and are hereby appointed as auditors of the company, and that their remuneration be fixed by the directors in respect of the period ending at the conclusion of the next annual general meeting. Thank you very much, Mr. Floyd.
Lastly, the proposed acquisition of Union Trust Bank is put forth for approval, a strategic decision aimed at expanding the bank's service offerings and strengthening its market position.
I haven't given out much details because there's a caretaker team in place, which this communique highlighted, and there's also a liquidator in place in UTB right now. And also the government is going to hive out most of the toxic assets, all right, and that will not be taken up by Rokel Commercial Bank. This is an approval to proceed with the process, and once the liquidator is done with the job, we'll have final details which we can share in an EGM. And that's why what we did was to inform this gathering with all due respect. There's a liquidator in place right now at UTB, all right, that's handling this process. And also the liquidator will come up with the final figures, which is what we're going to use at the end of the day. So going forward, I believe that, okay, we're not talking to the BSL, but the BSL are the regulators, the supervisors, and they made a decision based upon all indicators that they utilize to assess all the bids that they got. All right, and the liquidator is right now in place, working with the caretaker team and with the Rokel Commercial Bank team to finalize the deal. Thank you.
It's an interesting AGM. I have been attending AGMs before. This one is different in the sense that so many contributions were made from the shareholders, possibly because of the topical issues, especially relating to the proposed acquisition or takeover of the Union Trust Bank UTB. Yes, but on the whole, it's fine. It's very constructive, it's very engaging, and the contributions are very rich.
I think it's a step in the right direction. I think the bank is doing well. As we could see from the reports presented, I think it's a viable place to invest. As approved, the dividend has been increased to 11 from 4, and I think majority of us are happy that we are getting such amount from our investments, and most of the shareholders present here today seem to be happy with that.
As the meeting concludes, the sense of optimism lingers, coupled with a commitment to continue driving growth and innovation within the banking sector. This concludes the 52nd Annual General Meeting of the Rokel Commercial Bank. Thank you for joining us as we shape the future of finance.